All right, guys, it's 1 o'clock and we're set to begin. Want to go around the horn. First of all, guys, remember, please take yourself off mute and put your cameras on so we can see your smiling faces. And real quick, before we start going, what are you guys looking to get from today? Actually, before we even get to that question, I apologize. Denny is not going to make it today. He is doing a checkout for some potential bold coaches, and he is in the final stages of helping them reach the next level of their career as bold coaches. So you get the relief pitcher today. And anyhow, so what are you hoping to get out of today? Specific problems you might be having, either scripts you want to work on or challenges that you're seeing in the market right now you're not quite sure how to overcome. All right, Moses, I know, is going to jump in because he just turned his camera on.
Is Denny Grimes here today?
Denny is not here today. Sorry, buddy, you got me.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
So, what are you working on right now that you're having a challenge with? Bryant, Liliana, Jennifer, what's cooking that you might not have answers to?
I mean, so far as I mean, this should be a common question, is like asking a potential seller, you know, have you spoken to other agents, or asking them a question that they don't think that you're going to ask, like, you know, have you, like, how are you looking in the market, or how, you know, what other considerations are you looking at? Like, what are, because that's how I ultimately got my sign listing the other day, is that I didn't know that there was another agent in play until I asked, how did you come up with that number? You know, at that price point. And they said, oh, you know, another agent said that. Okay, well, how do you feel about that agent? How do you feel about, you know, what they offer? And I had to ask a whole different type of questions, and just to put myself in a position of understanding, and so I can understand at their level.
Excellent. Now, Bryant, you might be a little young to remember this show, but there are a couple of, well, I know I'm old enough to remember the show. Columbo. Does anyone remember this? Jennifer does. She smiled. Jennifer, take yourself off mute for a second.
I know it, but I never watched it, so.
Okay, that's okay. You know, Columbo was really famous at the end of every conversation. Oh, that's right. Just one more thing. The Columbo question is what we call it, okay? And Bryant, you described that perfectly. You set your appointment. In your case, you set the appointment with the seller. You're going out on a listing appointment. You know, before I let you go, I just got one more question. Who else are you interviewing? Or are you interviewing any other agents? Is that helpful information to have? And does it cause them to think as you're leaving a conversation asking that question?
Yeah, because
so
they're going to probably come back with another question they didn't think of.
Perfect. So how many instances can you use something like that? You know, before I let you go, just one more thing. Beyond, what other information would you like to know that is perfect just to kind of leave them baited with?
My question will be, how can we make this a 10+ experience, and what are you looking for into that?
Okay. Liliana, you're in here twice.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to asking the proper stage questions, like, you know, what is your expectations of this market? What are you looking to happen? What are you looking for? You know, what are you looking for a listing agent to get the job done? You know, those are basic common questions you should ask all the time.
Absolutely. Now, and those same questions go true for buyers, don't they?
Yeah.
And a great finishing conversation with the buyer. But one more thing. If something comes up between now and our meeting today, tomorrow, whatever it is, would you like to be the first to know about it? Just one of those things that gets buyers thinking a little bit. So I wrote down some ideas for today. How many of you are in marketplaces where you have absentee owners? Whether they have a second home there. Al, thank you. Al, where are you? I saw you mouth it. it looks like my lip reading skills tell me you're in Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. So Phoenix Scottsdale, where I actually am right now physically, has a very large group of second homeowners and investment owners. Where else do you find
I
that?
mean, I'm down the road in Tucson.
Okay, so Jennifer sees that in Tucson. All right. So Liliana, do you see that up in your neck of the woods?
Sorry, I didn't pay attention to the question. I was just doing something else. Sorry, can
Do
you?
you have a lot of second homeowners in your area?
Yes, we do.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to cover a little bit about some scripts and dialogues today around circle dialing to look for those second homeowners that might be looking to cash in. Okay. How many of you have luxury properties in your market? Excellent. Everybody should raise their hand, by the way, because luxury is not a price range. Luxury is a relative price range. Top 10% of your market is going to be considered luxury. So, hey, Rick Henderson, where are you from?
I'm in the in North Carolina, Piedmont Triad, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, North Carolina.
Excellent. Welcome. Welcome. It's my first time seeing you here, so I appreciate you stopping in. So let's start off today with something real simple. We're going to do 3-minute role plays. Okay. I'm going to choose an agent and I'm going to choose a seller in this case. So Rick, I'm going to have you be the agent. Bryant, you are going to be the seller. Bryant, you own a luxury home.
Okay.
Okay. And to the example I wrote down, we'll tee it up. Let's say it's about a $5 million home. Okay. So Rick, this is going to give you a chance to think about this for a second. The objection you're going to give him is, how much harder is it to sell a $5 million home versus a $1 million home? Why do I need to pay that much extra?
Wow. All right.
And we're going to get this. Mark Benson just joined us. He's had this objection numerous times down in Naples, Florida, I'm sure. So we're going to get his input on this afterwards. But you guys have 3 minutes. And remember, guys, there is no failure here. This is all about learning and growing. All right.
So John, the objection, to be clear, is that I own the $5 million home, but where did the $1 million come from?
Well, so if I own a $5 million home, why do I want to spend $250,000 to sell it when my neighbor with a $1 million home can sell $50,000? Is it really 5 times as hard to sell my home?
Okay, so considering selling myself.
All right, you got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go, and you're at the table.
Hey, Rick, why is it so hard? What's the difference from me selling my $5 million home versus, my neighbor that just sold his house for $1 million?
Well, Brian, I think you have to consider a couple of things. One is the price range. It is a unique price range as far as marketing is concerned. So there are more customers, more buyers in the $1 million pool than there are in the $5 million pool. The other thing is your property right now. There's some marketing differences that we would definitely take it up a notch over a $1 million property. For instance, offering you, as I mentioned to you earlier in my presentation, talking about a national exposure to broaden the appeal of your home to other buyers. And so, with that being said, other than the commission, is there anything else that would keep us from doing business today?
Well, Rick, look, I have a bunch of realtor friends, and there's some top producing agents, and I got some of their advices, and I'm gonna just pay a photographer to come in here take pictures and I would just post it on Zillow. I mean, doesn't everyone look on Zillow?
Well, you know, Zillow is a great platform. A lot of people do begin a search on Zillow. However, with that being said, there's more to it than just Zillow. There are agents, there are top producing agents all across the country that utilize the MLS. And again, it's a more of a broad approach. Zillow is a very narrow approach. And so I would think you would want to expose your property and its unique features, selling features, to a broader audience than just Zillow.
So Rick, what could you do differently than Zillow?
30 seconds.
Well, you know, Brian, that's a great question. So in addition to Zillow, you know, the multiple MLS, a nationwide exposure into specific magazines like the Wall Street Journal. I have some other access to some luxury publications where your house will get exposure, not just only on the internet, but also in written press, and been featured as a featured property throughout the United States. And the great thing about
Time. Rick, great job. I put you on the spot. This is your first time here that I've seen you. Judging from the onward, I know you're familiar with a bunch of people that have been on here. Great job. Okay. Let's talk about first, what do you feel you did well?
Well, I acknowledged his objection, and then I just reaffirmed, and I asked him the question, other than the commission, is there anything else that would keep us from doing business today, which allowed me to drill in a little bit further, I felt like depth-wise. So, and just, John, let you know, I've been on this call in the past. I just haven't been here probably in the last 5 or 6 weeks, just because I had a lot of the stuff going on. But
that's okay. This is our first interaction, and I appreciate you allowing me to pull it out like that. So what could you have done better, Rick?
I think that what I could have done better was definitely articulate precisely about the marketing plan.
Okay.
And then again, I probably could have asked the same type of question, but just change it. Other than the marketing plan, other than, you know, how the marketing plan is laid out, is there any other thing that would cause us not to be able to do business? And then drill that, because you know that from sitting in this class, you know, objections are really just questions that haven't been answered.
Okay. Brian, how did you feel as a seller?
I felt comfortable.
What's that?
I felt comfortable.
Okay. Now, the objection is, why should I pay $250,000 instead of $50,000, or $300,000 instead of $60,000, right? What is the underlying thought process behind that objection?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking anyone out there. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, just making more money. Make more money at the end.
Yeah.
What you walk away with.
What's the value that you are bringing as my agent is the real question that I'm hearing.
So,
hey, John,
go ahead, Brian.
John, I said I felt comfortable for a reason.
Okay.
Because he didn't make me feel uncomfortable thinking about what he could do, or what the process, or my motivation, or where I need to move, or any of those questions that could have been asked weren't asked. So I was comfortable because none of those questions were asked.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for rephrasing it that way, Brian, because that kind of opens up a door. You felt comfortable because you weren't put in a place of being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, it was. Go ahead, Liliana.
Sorry, I believe Rick supposed to mention his negotiation skills and the track record, because he being an expert of the field, he can get more money rather than a normal person that does not have experience in this field.
Very possible. Now remember, we want to keep from laundry listing, and this is what this, and this. All right. What if we were to ask a question, something to this effect? So Brian, I can absolutely appreciate that you really want to save a couple bucks on this transaction. Let me ask you, is it about what you save or about what you keep at the end?
It's about what I keep at the end.
Okay, so really what we're talking about is you want to net the most possible. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's most important here.
Okay, wonderful. So now back off a script. At this point, guys, now you've got the opportunity to have a discussion like Liliana pointed out, a little bit about skills and so forth. Now, Bryant, you did throw a curveball, which is, can I just put it on Zillow? And I love that. We're gonna continue with the next role play. Bryant, you are now, since you brought it up, you are now the agent. All right. Jennifer, you're the seller, and your objection is going to be real simple. I can put it on Zillow and get all the marketing I need. And Bryant, you have 3 minutes again. All right.
We are at the table, or how?
Yeah, you're continuing the same conversation. You guys are at the table for 3 minutes. Ready, set, go.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put it on Zillow. I mean, Zillow's huge. Everybody's gonna see it.
Yeah, Jennifer, I can appreciate that. And ultimately, Jennifer, how important is this sale to you?
I have another home, I can sell it or whatever.
Okay, so would you be living at the other home while there's showings at this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are y'all wanting to make the most money for the sale of this home, or?
Well, of course, absolutely.
Okay. And
yeah,
have you,
and I can do that by having it on Zillow and selling it myself.
okay, I can appreciate that. And absolutely, Zillow is a massive platform, but how many houses have you seen that have actually sold that were for semi-owner?
Oh,
No,
I mean,
Zillow.
I have friends all the time telling me that they're putting their home on the market and, and they're selling it themselves. So, and friends of friends. So, I know it's happening.
Okay, yeah. And do you know, I mean, did they know that they get top dollar for their home, or where do they sell their houses at?
Yeah, they put it on Zillow and they sold it themselves.
Did they get top dollar for the home, or where did they sell it at? I'll ask that again.
They sounded like they were very happy with what they got.
Okay. And do you know how many platforms are out there when selling a house?
No, a couple dozen.
There's actually over 150, but Zillow is only
Oh,
one
wow.
of them.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
do you think all buyers are looking on Zillow, or all these other platforms?
Well, no, probably not all of them, but Zillow's the biggest.
Yeah. And what makes you think that?
Well, everybody knows the name. Everybody seems to go to Zillow.
So Jennifer, I'm just, you seem like a very serious seller yourself, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And where do you think serious buyers look for homes?
Online.
Where at online?
Zillow. Zillow, probably.
If that was the case, do you think real estate would be where it's at now currently?
I don't know where real estate is at. What do you mean?
So in your marketplace, wherever you are currently, which I would say Tampa, Florida, there's over, let's say, 50,000 agents that are proactively selling real estate in that area. Would you think that if Zillow was the only platform that would promote real estate, and all of your neighbors and everybody that sell their house by themselves, do you think agents would be able to sell, would be a part time?
And there's the time. All right, Bryant, how'd you do?
I mean, I was off script, but I mean, I've never spoken about Zillow. Usually people don't really ever bring it up. So, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, you dug that hole. You brought it up. So that's awesome. Hey, we have Denny here. Denny, welcome. So We are just wrapping up a role play on a for sale by owner using Zillow. So Bryant and Jennifer were in the discussion there. Jennifer did a good job of throwing Bryant for a loop. So
That would be impossible, I would think.
so Bryant,
I enjoyed it.
what did you do well?
You know, I brought up more details rather than just, you know, allowing her to throw a straight ball to me, saying that we're just gonna throw it on Zillow. You know, she didn't think that, you know, bringing up top dollar for her home, and if her neighbors are selling their houses, did they truly know that if they sell it for top dollar, they wouldn't know. And then the fact that Zillow is only one platform, and there's many of other platforms out there that buyers look at.
There we go.
And that serious buyers don't only look at Zillow.
Okay. So, and that was excellent, bringing up about serious buyers. Okay. Not necessarily only looking at Zillow. What could you have done to nail that point down just a little bit more?
Probably stage it a little better. Staging the question a little better. You know, ask her, or, you know, how serious are you about this, and go off that about serious buyers.
Yeah, you could have dug a little more on the motivation. Yes, Jennifer said she had 2 houses, and you know, she's just going to move the other one, not in any big rush. So, Jennifer, let me ask you a question. If Brian had asked you, you know, Jennifer, when you do sell, whenever that is, what are you going to do with the proceeds of that home?
Right. I mean, that's a great thought-provoking question. And I think that's, you know, especially if you're talking about a luxury seller, that's a great thought-provoking question to get people to think about.
Think of it this way. Now, I know we started out with a luxury role play. I want you guys to put does not matter what price range, does not matter who the seller is. To them, their home is luxury. Okay? Completely different than what we say in our business and how we define luxury. Every homeowner, to them, owning a home is their luxury. So go back into role play for a second. You're that seller, and I just asked you that question. You know, Jennifer, when you do sell the second home, what are your plans with the proceeds?
That's a really good question. I need to talk to my financial planner, but we're talking about putting the money maybe into annuities and certain investment vehicles, certain other types of investment vehicles.
Wonderful. Now, guys, at this point, what we've done is we started a conversation that we have an opportunity to create a pain point, or at least a little bit of discomfort for Jennifer. So what's going to happen what happens if 6 months from now you haven't sold the house and the market turns and you have 20% less to put in? Does that change things? Now, she used some certain terms like putting it into annuities, which tells me she is scared to lose money. So a question like, what happens if the market does turn and you sell your house for less in the future? How is that going to affect your plans? So there's just a couple things that you can use to spin this around a little bit to be able to create a pain point just from some of the cues that she's giving you there. Denny, any input at this point?
Well, I stepped in at the end, so I'll watch the movie. I'll watch the movie.
Awesome.
What's next?
Awesome. All right, so next.
Let me just ask you this question. We did kind of a potluck. Who wants a potluck phone call today? Who's ready?
Potluck.
You're going to take on Denny.
Oh, LeBron, you want to?
I'll do it.
You just did one, right?
I'll do it again.
I got it. Let me just somebody else wants to play, or no one else. I'll go for you. Okay, I'll go for you.
Man.
Somebody else want to go? Right. This is
We've already had, just so you know who's gone already, Denny, Rick Henderson went against Bryant. Bryant has gone against Jennifer.
Got it. Well, I want somebody who wants a listing today. Anybody?
I'll take a listing. I'll take one.
Right. Oh my gosh. I love you, man. Nobody wants a listing.
I'll take a listing.
Reagan wants a listing.
This is going to be a come listing. Is that Reagan?
Reagan.
Reagan. All right, Reagan, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Reagan?
Yes. Who's this?
I'm kind of curious. Do you answer your phone like that? That's your business.
I used to answer my phone like that. Are you calling me? Am I the listing person or am I the?
You're the agent. You're
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a mulligan. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Reagan.
Hey, Reagan. My name is Denny and Denny Grimes. We're thinking about moving to the area, and somebody gave me your name and about buying a house. And where are you, by the way?
Greensboro, Triad area.
Greensboro, like North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're thinking about moving to Greensboro all of a sudden. And so I was just kind of curious, but however, I'm a little concerned about the market. I'm a little bit concerned about buying in your market. Can you give me a kind of a 1,000-foot view of what's going on in your market right now?
Well, we still have a pretty strong market here. Property values are still going up. We're seeing some of the higher priced properties maybe sit a few extra days than maybe they were 6 months ago, but properties in that first time buyer price range of 220-ish, 250-ish. So within a day or two of going on the market.
Okay, now, no judgment. Now, I'm a buyer coming into the marketplace, and everything you said may have been 100% true. Are you making me feel good about stepping into your market?
Probably not. It's intimidating.
Yeah, well, you actually were singing a song out of the seller's hymnal. How could you sing a song out of the buyer's hymnal? Would you like a redo? Because I know Bryant wants to go.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Oh,
Let's go, Denny.
You can do it again. You can do it again. You want it, Reagan? You want to go again? What a great name, right? You want to play or pass, Reagan?
I'll play. I do more seller stuff, so
Okay.
it's good practice.
You know, it is good practice. I mean, if a buyer called you, you'd help them move, right?
Yep, I would.
Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Reagan.
Reagan, hey, I'm, thinking about moving to the area there. My wife's getting a new job and thinking about maybe stepping in and buying, but a little concerned about the market right now. Maybe want to rent. A friend of mine that I know that my wife knows gave us your name and number. So I don't know anything about, that you're North Carolina, Greensboro area, whatever. So what can you tell me about a 1,000-foot view?
Well, what are you looking for and what's important to you about our market?
Now, let me just stop and say, John, do we have one of those sound machines that can play Hallelujah Chorus right now?
I don't have control over, but I'll tell you what, Reagan, that question was phenomenal.
Now, do you see the big difference between the first role play and the second? What did she do?
Ask a question.
Yeah, this is a great sign. It's like, when you start laundry listing stuff, that means you're lost as a duck in the desert. You don't know where you're going, and so you're just going to throw a bunch of sticky notes up against the wall, right? Reagan, that was awesome. Did that feel better?
Yes.
Make note of that, you guys. Listen, I walk in to your restaurant. You're the server. Hey, I'm hungry. Would you start reading the menu? No, of course not. All right, so go back to your question, Reagan. Ask me again, because I totally forgot it because I got so excited.
So what are you looking for and what's important to you about that question about the market?
Well, we're gonna win a house. We're probably gonna be in the $600,000 to $800,000 range. We're gonna sell our house in Orlando, and I just don't want to buy in the top of the market. So I'm just wondering. I mean, we're moving, we're coming, and I just wondering, maybe I should think about renting. So tell me what's going on in the marketplace in Greensboro.
Have you sold your home in Florida yet? Or is that something you're just starting to think about doing?
No, we haven't sold it yet, but it's not going to be a problem.
Okay. Do you have an agent that you're working with there?
Yeah, I have an agent.
Okay. So you're looking to move to the Greensboro area and you're looking to spend 600 to 700,000. Do you?
Well, hang on. What did I say? Tell me, reminder what I said.
600,000?
To what?
700,000?
I think I said 800.
You said 8.
So
Okay.
again, we're not being critical here. This is about question-based listening in hand. So is it really important, you guys, if someone says a price range, that you repeat back that price range and not something else? And then listen, if you missed it, just ask for clarity. You know, we're all human. All right, I just want to make sure when you start remembering what they say, I'm starting to like you more. And if you had a Buccaneer jersey on, I'd like you even more. So yeah, we're going to be buying that 6,800 range probably.
Okay, that's a pretty wide range. Is there something specifically you're looking for in that range?
Okay, now, so let me, Reagan, no, that was question 4. Have you addressed my question yet?
No.
So you're asking questions for your benefit. Are you taking care of my benefit yet?
No.
So, all right, you started out great. So do you hear what I'm saying? And please, this is all about us getting better. Fair? So what would be a question? Then I'll turn it over to whoever wants to go next. I know that Brian's over there going like this. He's ready to come out of the stall, right? So, so Reagan, what would you ask? Now you ask, you know, what's important to you? Well, I don't want to overpay in the market, so maybe I should rent. What's going on in the market right now?
Well, I'm struggling with answering that question.
Okay. Does
without having the sellers.
Anyone want to take it for
low rates? Low rates?
You know, here's the thing. Jill, you're right. Yeah, but that's such a weak argument. How long have rates been low?
For a while now. Yeah.
That's like the Jets losing, right? I mean, there's nothing new about that.
Okay.
And the Bucks winning. There's nothing new about that. What would be there's
actually a lot new with the Bucks winning, just for the record.
I can say in that price range that there's more inventory because they don't sell as quickly.
Oh.
So you have a little bit more time to find the house you're looking for because it's not in the market that's selling super fast.
Now, does that sound like good news for a buyer?
Absolutely. I can relax a little bit.
Why don't you start by saying, and now you're working with buyers right now. Why don't you start saying by saying, you know, your timing's excellent. Now, when you say my timing's excellent, am I like backing up from you or maybe leaning in a little bit?
Leaning in. Got
it. Now somebody take over the conversation. Anyone. And you start to say your timing's excellent. And I say, well, what do you mean? Brian, this would be your opportunity. If you're not shy.
Well, Denny, what about this time is excellent for you?
No, you're the one that said it. I'm saying, well, what do you mean? The timing's excellent. You're the agent. Uh-oh.
Timing's excellent. So I don't know, you got me stuck on this one.
Oh, he's sacked. He will
Tell me more.
What?
Tell me more.
Well, yeah, but you're the agent. I want you to tell me more. I'm the buyer. How can you use basically the slowdown in the marketplace, even though it's gone from supersonic to just sonic?
Stabilization, maybe a stabilization in the prices, and it's a good time to buy right now?
Yeah, well, how would you make me feel better about stepping in as a buyer?
Probably because there's more choices and you don't have to decide in a day. It might give you like maybe more choices.
Okay, so are you able to come on camera?
Yeah, it's just my hair is wet, sorry.
That's okay. At least you have a lot of hair. I don't.
Yeah.
All right, so what would you say? I mean, what do you mean that's good news? I mean, what do you mean it's good news, Jill?
Well, I guess it's good news because it was so hyperdrive for a while that houses would be on a day, you know, you'd have a day and you have to decide. Now you can have a little bit more leeway. People are asking for like maybe some concessions on some of that, like maybe the home warranties. I think it's just kind of shifted a little bit where maybe buyers have a little bit more bargaining power than they did before. Not a lot, but just a little bit more. I think that helps with the inventory piece.
Here's my point. Is the market right now a little bit more friendly towards buyers than it was 3 months ago?
Yes. I believe it is.
So if I happen to call in and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about buying, why wouldn't you use it? Well, your timing's excellent. Well, what do you mean by that? Right? And I'll just reverse it with you, Jill. So you're not a buyer calling in and said, well, your timing is excellent. What would you say?
I would say, so I'm the buyer. Is that what you're saying? So, well, why is it so excellent? Tell me more, Denny. I'm kind of curious. Why is this beneficial for me?
Well, have you read, I mean, let me ask you, there's no right or wrong answer. Have you heard in the past about how buyers are being frustrated with many multiple offers and multiple bids over asking price? It was kind of like that type of market. Have you heard about that?
Yes. Yeah. It was scary. I didn't want to get into it, and I'm apprehensive because of it. Yes.
Well, the market has gone and taken a couple of steps back towards rational. And you know what that means for you?
Yes. It means maybe I don't have to bid $50,000 over the asking price.
Well, what's interesting is I'm surprised that she said yes. However, if I wouldn't have asked the question, I would have told her that. Doesn't mean that maybe you don't have multiple offers, maybe you have a little bit more inventory to choose from. That she just said, I don't have to pay $50,000 over asking price. And you know what? You're right. So you asked me for the 1,000-foot view. It's a whole lot more buyer friendly. Would you like to continue this conversation?
Yes.
Now, I'm just going to compare and contrast that. Now, John, I'll let you be the seller calling in with the same question. And who wants to take that call? Because now you're going to have to look at the other side of the coin. Are you going to tell the seller, well, it sucks for you? It's going away from a seller's market into a buyer's market. So who wants to handle that?
Oh, come on, don't be shy.
I can do it. Whatever is fine. This is all just practice for me. I mean, I can do it.
I appreciate it. If no one steps up, Jill, then we'll do it. But I want to got like some people on here, even have to call somebody out. Come on, you guys, let's do this. You want a call today like this. You want a come list me. John is going to be a come list me. He's going to ask you why I should list now, or maybe I should wait.
I'll do it.
There you go. Well, back to Jennifer. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. I love you guys. All right. So go.
Ring, ring.
Hi, this is Jen. How can I help you?
Oh, hey, Jen, this is John. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Hey, Jen, I'm considering putting my house on the market, and I'd like to have you come out and chat a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, so tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking and what your future plans are.
Well, it's like I said, we want to get the house sold, and we are moving back up north to be closer to family.
Get to the question. Tell me what's going on in the market. What I should know.
And just want to make sure that now is the right time to sell.
Now is definitely still the right time to sell. As you may have heard, it's been a crazy seller's market, right, for the last year plus few years.
Ask.
Don't tell.
You're telling him, ask him. Ask a question.
What do you know about how our market has been in the last year or two?
Very nice.
It's been absolutely crazy, multiple offers and bidding wars and all that. And I hear that that's coming to an end. So I'm just kind of concerned that this is not the right time. So how do I know it's the right time?
Gotcha. Who, just out of curiosity, who's telling you that it's coming to an end? Or have you heard that?
I hear it all over the news. We got this crazy agent down in our neck of the woods here that is on TV a couple times a week and gets up on stage in front of people and says that things are changing, and okay. I'm just kind of concerned about that.
Okay, well, let me hit you with a few facts. It is still a great seller's market. We are seeing the number of available homes tick up a little bit. We now have about a month of inventory.
Now your laundry listing. Your laundry listing.
Already gave you everything you need.
Can you? Oh, you have the agent who is telling you this. Well, the bottom line is it is still a great time to get your home on the market. We can still get you top dollar for it.
Now you're making another laundry list. See, when you go into that's natural. You're just going to throw a bunch of stuff out there. However, in this class, what question you? So John, help her out. Just reverse it for a second.
Okay. So Jennifer, I sent you a private message. Did you see that? I'm moving back closer to family.
Yes. Gotcha.
Okay. So remember, go for motivation.
Mhm.
So what could you ask me instead of laundry listing? What could you ask me that would redirect my focus on what's really important here?
How soon do you want to be moved to be closer to your family?
Nice.
You know, I'd like to get it done sooner than later. You know, my parents are starting to get a little older, and I'd like to be able to be there for them.
Okay, great. Well, I have some time available this afternoon. Do you have any time free between 1 and 3 today? Be happy to come out and continue the conversation.
You know, I'm working. I can actually do it this evening.
Okay, great. Does 6 o'clock work for you?
Sure.
All right, great. I'll see you then.
And yes, they can be that easy, guys. They really can.
So what's the message there, John?
The market we're in does not matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody calls up and they say that they need to sell. They need to sell. Doesn't matter whether the market's hot or changing or shifting or whatever. Once you find their motivation, market conditions don't matter.
I got it. But however, what he did was he got the appointment. Now, again, if you have somebody call you, you want to get the appointment, that's the goal. And do your best not to have the conversation. Now, let's just shift it a little bit. I only have a couple minutes. So I got to pop on a maps call. But so, all right. So I'm going to go. Give me one more volunteer really quick. I've only got 3 minutes. Who wants me?
I'll take it, Denny.
All right, Brian. Come on, baby. All right, Brian. So you're at my house. So tell me why. I hear this market slowing down a little bit. I heard it's not as great as it was, Brian. So maybe I should wait for it to pick back up.
So, Denny, I'll just ask you a quick question. Where are you hearing that from?
Just, online, YouTube, Dear Abby.
Okay. And how important is it to you to sell your property?
Well, I want to get moved to family, right?
Okay.
But I don't have to.
And
I don't have to move anytime soon.
okay. And what would you say? What would be anytime soon? Would it be kind of time frame you just guess?
My wife wants to get closer to her family, and I really don't. So I'm dragging anchor. So ideally, my wife would like to be there, before the birth of our 18th grandchild, and that's going to be around Halloween. That's ideal time frame for her.
Okay, so maybe in the next 30 days.
I guess.
Right.
But I don't really think. I mean, I heard the market slowing, so that concerns me.
So do you think it's slowing for sellers or slowing for buyers?
I heard it's slowing. There's sales are down.
And so far as on a price point, do you think that your home at your price point that you're looking at would sell faster than other houses? Or where would you think that your house would sell at this price point?
What I'm selling?
Yeah, so far as your price point, where would you be at compared to the other houses that are selling?
Well, my concern is I think I could have gotten $850 for it like 3 or 4 months ago, but now that I hear the market slowing, then maybe people are telling me it's only, I watched the valuation on Zillow go down, so maybe it's only worth like 800, and I don't want to sell it in a falling market.
So, Denny, what's more important is to get into your family before the birth of the child, or selling for top dollar?
You asking me or my wife? I
would hope that your wife's there with us.
I'm going to move her one way or the other. I just don't want to sell and lose money on my house. So why should I move now? Why should I sell now? I'm moving her. I'll give her a one-way ticket to Peoria.
Yeah, so your wife could definitely be there while the birth of the child is happening, and we could still be in the process of selling that house. So it seems like, Denny, that making the most for your home is important to you, but what's important for your wife is getting to family. Am I hearing that right?
But I'm moving her, and she can buy a house. We kind of have that kind of we each have our own checkbook. This is my house. I just don't want to sell it, and I want to sell it at the peak of the market. I think the market slowed down a little bit. I think it'll be better, probably a little bit around maybe January.
I don't want to lose money on from the peak.
So Denny, how are we going to know that we are losing money right now?
Now you're digging somewhere that has some traction. Well, I mean,
Why did you start talking first?
Yes, that's what I fear. I mean, 850 is what I think, my neighbor sold for, and I think my house is similar, and I could get 850, but people are telling me I can only get 8.
Well, Denny, do you believe everything that everyone else says about your
Yes, get to the heart of the matter. I get that. I understand that question. Get to the heart of the question. There's one question you should ask right now.
Okay, Denny. Well, if we put it on the market at 850, I mean, and when we get that, would that make you happy?
There you go. There you go. Well,
great. Well, it's on
well, I mean, I heard it's not going to be 850.
Well, Denny, I'm sorry, but I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I'd be a billionaire. But we could definitely put on the market. We can watch how the market reacts to the property, and if we get 850 for the property, then we get 850, and you can be on your way, happy, and we can celebrate.
Was there a closing question there?
Well, I already closed you. So,
all right. Nice job, John. Thanks for letting me crash my party.
Thanks for crashing your party. And I understand we're gonna see you tonight, aren't we?
Yes. So, all right. I got to run. John doesn't have to run. Don't log off, you guys.
Yep, I'm not going anywhere. So, guys, here's the next one. The seller's got a friend of a friend who sells a lot of homes in that neighborhood. I need a seller and I need an agent.
I can do one or the other.
Awesome. So Reagan, you're going to be the seller because you are all the agent. So who wants to handle hey, a friend of a friend sells a lot of homes in this neighborhood. We need to go with the neighborhood expert. Come on, someone volunteer before I call on Al. He knows he's already unmuting himself. All right, Al. Al, thank you very much for playing.
Not a problem.
All right, so Reagan, give him the objection.
So I know I called you over to here today, just trying to get a second opinion, but my friend's friend has sold 10 homes in this neighborhood in the last 18 months, and I know she knows it really well. And I'm having a hard time not using her. I really think I need to use her.
Okay, well, I can appreciate that. Have you actually met with this agent, or are you just getting information from your friend?
No, I know her. I've seen her at social gatherings and so forth, and I'm acquainted with her.
Okay.
So we're kind of friends.
So you say she's familiar with the neighborhood you're in. That's great. Definitely, she's had some success there. But do you think the buyers that she's bringing in live within the neighborhood or outside the neighborhood?
I'm sure she knows a lot of people in the neighborhood.
So would they be the ones potentially buying her home?
I don't know. I guess they could come from anywhere.
Likelihood they would be coming from either out of state or other parts of the valley. Any other objections besides her credentials for actually selling homes within the neighborhood?
No.
So if we could address that issue, would you be willing to move forward?
Possibly.
Okay. No, we're associated, as you well know, with a very large company here in the valley, and we have a large
ask.
So can I go ahead and schedule a time to where we can meet and list your home?
You're face to face.
Yeah, I think we're already together.
Well, what would it
Trying to
take
get you
for
to
us
sign
to
the
move?
contract, I think, right?
Yeah, what would it take for us to move forward today?
Well, I just feel a little awkward putting a sign in my yard from somebody else's company. I don't know what my friends might think of that. So do you have any suggestions?
Well, I can honestly say that I personally have had involvement in your community. Our office has done a tremendous amount of business here in this area. And with me, you've got the support all behind you. So not only are we working this area, but we also work other areas and have buyers come to us all the time. So we have quite a list of people already that are looking for homes that are in your price range. I think we get it sold and sold fast at top dollar for you.
Okay.
I go forward.
I don't know if I'm being difficult enough. I just was hoping he would address my discomfort more than anything.
So let's back up just a bit. All right. Now I'm gonna give you a lifeline. All right.
Okay.
So Reagan, you invited me over here for a reason. What concerns you about the other agent?
Well, I like her, and I know that people like her, but I just didn't want to pick her because she's the neighborhood expert. And that's the only reason. I wanted to see what somebody else might have to say or offer about the neighborhood or the market that could be different. I just didn't want to choose her just because of that. I wanted to see what other options I might have.
Okay, so off script. That question, if you already have a neighborhood expert. You're there for a reason. There's something missing. There's some piece of information or something going on in the back of Reagan's mind that is causing her to ask for advice from someone else. And that question will throw most sellers off. Well, why am I here? If that's the neighborhood expert, think of it that way. Why am I here? You've already got the neighborhood expert. Why am I here? Oh, well, I'm looking to find out this, and this. Great. So Reagan, back on script. Reagan, let me ask you. You said that you're looking to find something else out. What do you think that is? What are you looking to learn?
Maybe if someone could get me or somebody that could handle the transaction that might bring me more buyers that, you know, and aren't just, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so
just something different and not the same thing everybody else uses. I mean, you might have something more to offer me. I don't know. Okay, so it sounds like you're looking for something a little bit different. And you also mentioned, what would your friends say? I was concerned about that. Yeah, and I can absolutely appreciate that. So other than those two, is there anything keeping us from moving forward today? No. Okay, terrific. One of them is really easy. You know, the friends is really simple. I'll call them all for you. Okay. And I'll make an introduction. My name is John McLeod. I just wanted to let you know that Reagan has asked me to help sell her property. And I'm just reaching out to let you know. And, you know, out of curiosity, do you know anyone who might be interested? So we can cover that with that. Now, is that a level of service that you might find that you're not going to receive from the neighborhood expert? Yes. Okay. Is there anything else preventing us from moving forward? No. Sign here, press hard, 3 copies. I'm old school, we use carbon. So the neighborhood expert is a fantastic objection. Because how many of you have been up against the neighborhood expert before? How many are intimidated when you learn that you're going up against the neighborhood expert? Okay. Were they always the neighborhood expert? Are they truly the neighborhood expert, or is that just an image? It's an image, right? Maybe deserved, maybe not deserved. So that, especially if you know you're going beforehand, you're going up against the neighborhood expert, we beat ourselves up. We serve that up on a golden platter to the quote unquote expert because we think that we're defeated going in. Remember, Reagan asked Al to come over to talk about listing her home. So there's something missing. There's absolutely something missing from that. Otherwise, you never would have been able to step up to the plate.
So, hey, Rick, why don't you go ahead and share what you just put across with the group?
John,
Yeah,
can we ask what are you looking in an agent in that situation or no?
absolutely. That was one of the questions I asked her. Was this, you know, you brought me here for a reason. What's missing? And that's another way, Liliana, it's another great way of putting it. What are you looking for in an agent? Rick, go ahead and share your comments.
So this was something I came up with a script that Reagan and I are familiar with, and it basically, when dealing with this situation, it says, you know, really what you need is someone like me that's here with you right now, and it says I can focus on making sure your home gets sold according to the way that fits you best. Now I can appreciate that the other agent or company. In fact, we co-op with them all the time, but during times like this, you need a business that cares most about you, and that's me. So let's go ahead and do the right thing. Let's get your home sold. I have the contract right here.
That's a wonderful icing on the cake. All right, that you want to close the deal. That is your closing statement. Thank you, Rick. It's a great share. We have one more we're going to do. We've got about 4 minutes left. It's real simple. The seller will sign a 30-day listing. Mark Benson, are you here?
I am, but I've got others in the background.
Okay, no problem. We'll keep you on listening mode. Darren, you are unmuted. Are you here? I'm just going through the 3 that haven't been on yet. I'm not going to call out Kaylee because I think they're getting on I'm assuming they're getting on a plane shortly. Rita, are you here? Nope. Okay, so who is going to be the seller and who wants to be the agent on a 30-day listing?
I guess I'll do it again, John.
All right, Brian, you're going to be the seller.
And
You've been getting a lot of work in the agent. Liliana, you're going to be the agent.
so it's a
Brian only wants to sign a 30-day listing. You have 3 minutes. Go.
Hey, Liliana, I just want to do, you know, it's a seller's market. I want to do a 30-day listing and see how the market goes.
Okay, other than that, Brian, what other concern you have by putting your house on the market for 30 days? Is it anything else?
I just want to get the most amount of money for my home, and you know, here it's a seller's market, and just want to you know, cash out on the market.
Okay, that's great. Can you tell me more? What else you want?
You know, I'm just looking for an agent that's going to aggressively market the house. You know, it should go into contract within the first week or a few days, and you know, it's just pretty much throwing everything up online and allowing these buyers to come after it.
Okay, can you tell me about what are you looking in an agent beside what you mentioned?
You know, just somebody that's reputable, that has a lot of buyers, that, you know, that'll attract the most amount of buyers, and just market as most as possible. That's really who I'm looking for.
So our company is specialized into this type of service you are looking for, and we have a buyer waiting program. So why don't we get together and I can show you what we can do to get to the finish line. When are you available? Tomorrow at 3 or Saturday at 5?
We can do tomorrow at 3.
Okay, thank you.
That's pretty good, John.
Okay, so Brian, let me ask you a question. If Liliana had said to you, okay, Brian, I understand you want a 30-day listing. Is there anything else? No, I just want, yeah, okay, great. So if we can list it for 30 days, will you hire me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sign here.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes it's that easy. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Bryant wants a 30-day listing. In this market, can you sell a home that's priced right in 30 days?
possibly.
Can we?
Yeah, possibly.
If it doesn't sell, it's a great. So, you know, Bryant, we'll go ahead and put it on for 30 days. And in the event it doesn't sell at the end of 30 days, we have a decision to make. Do we keep going, make an adjustment in the price? or do you hire somebody else? And put this in the back of your mind. You don't say it to them, but put in the back of your mind. Do you make the same mistake you just did, which is hiring somebody who will take your house overpriced? So it's a very solid pricing conversation you have to have with them. Great, we're going to list in 30 days. We're going to put it on at a price that's going to cause it to sell in 30 days, right? What's important to you about a 30-day listing? Another great question. What's important to you about a 30-day listing? It might be he's got to move. It might also be he's afraid of commitment. That was funny, Jennifer. Thank you for that little tiny smile on that. That was funny. All right, guys, so that's all we have for time today. Hopefully, I'm going to get to see a few of you guys here in Scottsdale this week. And for the rest of you, we will see you next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. See you later.
Thank you.